guys, we're back for another Dokkan battle video. So we have an interesting little post over here on the Reddit, which I think will serve very well for a lot of people in terms of link leveling, right? Now, I'm a bit late on this. Apparently, this was 2 days ago. I only just saw a link to this on Twitter. I glanced through a lot of the info, and I think a lot of the info is good here, and it does sort of, I guess, align with a lot of the sort of like tests and shit like that I've done. So, all right, let's just go ahead and go through. So, this is a lot of info related to link leveling, right? Some of the info that we previously thought was true, you know, we could sort of say has been updated and stuff like that. Like, even sort of like info that turned out to not be correct on like the wiki and stuff like that I've said on my videos, you know, stuff like that. Okay, so let's see. Vinny Bones, Harry Turney, and Kairu. Definitely a bunch of funny guys, I'll say. They did basically a lot of, I guess, testing, and then, you know, we got the formulas and stuff like that. I showed Vinny's some of his findings on a video the other day, right? Because I've done videos on, what, 7, 10, 8, 9, 15, 2, like all these sort of like good link level stages for auto, right? Because it's like, link leveling was a huge pain in the balls before auto was a thing, right? But with auto, I definitely think it's far less tedious, right? So I think that's why a lot more people sort of are interested in getting it done now, because it's just merely a process of finding like a good stage to where you can get consistent fights, and then auto will, you know, power up your characters. Because link leveling does give you a lot of extra strength for your characters. It's certainly not like an unnecessary thing or something like that, right? Okay, so let's try and go through a lot of the key relevant in here. This is a very long post, so this is going to end up being a long video. Here he points out that there's some links that, you know, you do want to get to link level 10, GT, Big Bad Bosses, stuff like that. Remember, Big Bad Bosses at level 10 takes away any HP restriction for having the 25% attack and defensive buff. You know, GT, as it powers up, gives you attack, defense, and key. It just gets very powerful, right? Okay, by bringing in any siege with a stamina cost, to prevent infinite link farming. Okay. Interesting. I assume, because they still want to keep some, like, monetary value, I guess, on, like, stones and meat items and stuff like that. I don't know. Chance to increase the link level is an incremental percentage. Starts off relatively good, decreases with successive levels. Yeah, as you guys know, it's very easy to link level characters up to, I don't know, about link level 5 or so. And then after that, it drops off quite a bit. Becomes quite a bit more difficult. Okay, so there's this table here. I mean, it's not popping up for me. I don't exactly know why, but whatever. We could still sort of like piece together the info. Level up links that are greater than 5, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so stamina has nothing to do with link levels. The main reason I have always said that it has is related to the boosts, which is brought up right here, which makes a lot of sense. 100% I've noticed that when you pop that boost, you get a much better chance of getting link levels, right? Again, this is just, I don't know, how many link level runs have I done? Thousands? Right, over the, shit, how many months are we talking now? Like 17 months that I've been link leveling or something like that? Boosts 1,000,000,000% do factor in. And we have like an actual explanation here. So, okay, so stamina doesn't have anything to do with link levels. Link level, skill level, probability rates. Every stage in the game that units can receive link levels has a value associated with that stage in the game's data, which I believe it's all displayed here on Dokkan Info, right? This is a very good site. Again, think of this site right here as sort of the successor of DBZ Space. I feel like it's just the best way to explain it. But I know a lot of, like, I guess, I mean, how do I say it? Sensitive data was leaked by Global Dokkan a while back, right? It's always been global these days. That's sort of been creating the issues and stuff like that, right? They're the ones that put the data download in early for Namek Goku and Full Power Frieza and stuff like that, right? Okay, so okay, every single stage in the game, units can receive link levels from there's this right here. Probability of the link level multiplied by the individual stage link level probability rate. Okay. And then of course there's boosts. Okay. Reason boosting a fight increases your chance level of your links because it increases the stamina cost. That's definitely what I thought, right? That's not true. So it's much like how you receive item drops from boosts. Using a boost practically means you played the stage twice in one go. So every time it rolls a chance for a link to be leveled up, it rolls the same chance twice on each fight. That does make sense. Leading to potentially the same or more link levels. Basically, you get 2 1% chances in a single run instead of 2 1% chances across 2 runs. I think now we can go ahead and jump over here. I mean, we're kind of skipping ahead again. I went through a lot of like the comments, stuff like that, trying to take in as much info as possible to put in here. So, okay, basically people just talking about 23.8. Now, I've been talking about 23.8 for, I mean, basically since version Z came out, and how I don't like that stage because your chances of missing the fights is just, it's very high, right? Because you have 2 separate like 3-way branching paths. You can only go down, so there's basically 6 paths and you can only go down 2 of them. So any Cybermen on any of the other 4 paths, you just can't hit those fights. And the way it works is when the stage loads up, the link levels are already pre-assigned to some of the fights, right? So that's why it definitely is better when link leveling to find stages with like stop sign fights or something that you can guaranteed hit a lot of fights in during a particular run, right? Deceptive, since the sheer amount of fights and branching paths screw you pretty hard, right? That's definitely what I've noticed through doing all of my runs and stuff like that. Okay. So, Dokkan isn't an always online game. Save server load is assign most of the relevant values in a stage whenever they load, right? Okay. Same step is applied when you load in. That means the central servers can't check every time a link should be leveling up. So every time the 1% or so chance to level up a link is rolled in the map, the game is already determining which fights will cause a link level up and which won't, right? So that's why, like, again, you go into a certain fight, and it's like the second that the stage begins, those fights already have, you know, what link levels you're searching for, right? That's why a lot of people have brought up the possibility of, like, an item that would allow you to see if any fights have a link level up on it. Or even potentially, if, you know, I've said, like, if you could just, like, click on the fight or something like that, and then just at a glance see if there's any link levels on it, right? All of those would be helpful. At this point, I don't know that that's necessarily needed at this point, because I feel like auto, again, has made link leveling far less annoying and tedious and stuff like that, right? Dice rolls don't matter because the guaranteed link up level is assigned to Cybermen on the other path that you didn't choose, right? Yeah, because that's the thing, right? It's like you go into 23 and there's so many Cybermen just shotgunned all over the fight, and you can't like hit all of those fights. That's why for so long I've really liked 8-9, because for the most part it's just a straight line, right? There are a couple of diversion paths. Occasionally, you can get some Frieza soldiers on either path, right? But that's why some of these, like, you know, again, 7-10 is good. 15-2 is really good just for manual. I have actually been using my boosts on 15-2 lately. And, you know, basically from all the findings and all the data here, 15-2 is the ideal manual link leveling stage that you do want to go ahead and do, right? Okay, so in statistical practice, all this is really doing is saving you time. Yep, sure. Just turning 2 trials into 1. Downside if you're short on box space. Yeah, okay, stages that drop Cybermen. Okay, so yeah, on 8-9, when you beat the Frieza soldiers, they do drop. And then I think they also, is it 15-2 that they drop? I think they also drop on 7-10, where when you beat the Cybermen, like, you actually get those units. I mean, they're a bit annoying because you can't boba them because they're only, ends, right? So all you could do is sell them. Occasionally, that is a bit of a pain in the ass. Okay, so link levels are distributed on the game board, determined the instant you enter the stage. Dokkan's basically offline, blah, blah, blah. Yep, okay. This is why stages where fights are all but guaranteed are so valuable. Yeah, stages with stop signs. Decreasing the chance you'll miss a link level that was distributed to one of the fights. And that's why 23.8 should be considered a thing of the past going forward. I 100% agree. I have been telling people I do not like doing 23.8. I don't think it should be done manual, blah, blah, blah. 23.8 can still be good to get incredible gems or to rank up. Like, if you really want to, like, you know, rank up and get incredible gems while also link leveling at the same time, you could still do 23.8. But, like, the only real advantage of that over these other stages that have been found, again, 8, 9, 7, 10, and 15-2, is because of the incredible gems, which incredible gems definitely, like, they still release stuff that needs gems, so you might need them. Far too many fights in 23, and the branching paths reduce your ability to successfully guarantee you hit every fight. Yep, 100%. It's making it pretty bad stages for leveling links. Okay. Okay, so B-Pan Stage 2 has a 100 stamina requirement to enter, yet its link skill level up probability rate is 2. Okay. The Guru event is at 4.5. Okay. And then the Turtle School training is at 4.5 as well. Yeah, okay, so the daily Turtle School training, dude, I have gotten so many level 10 links from that. Like, it really is that good. 100%. B-Pan is something that's always been... It could be hit or miss. I've gotten a few good links from the B-Pan stages, right? You guys definitely should get those done every week, but it's not like... It's definitely not as good as the daily stage. 100% that's true. Okay. See, like, again, the chart stuff is not loading for me, but again, we're still grabbing a lot of the relevant info anyway. Alright, I've been trying to find a way to show, I think, some of the stuff that's not really popping up for me. I mean, the best I got is we have the link level probabilities and stuff like that right here. For, again, the link levels, right? Like, it's why it could take a really long time once you get past, like, link level 5 and 6, and the percentage just starts to really, really plummet, right? So, okay, let's establish these stages link level up value, right? So stamina does not matter. It's just, like, the inherent probability for these the links to level up, combined with, like, the multiplier that each of these stages has got, right? So, okay, anytime you're trying to level up links, there's a linear scale to link level potential and difficulty. Higher the difficulty and thus stamina cost, right? So that's why, like, again, stamina has been a misconception for a while. More likely there will be a better link level potential value. Okay, so let's take a look at some of the big time stages. So 8, 9, this is a stage I found that I've been sort of like campaigning for, right? Has worked I've gotten like, I don't know, 150 units done in this stage now, or a huge amount, right? So it's a 0.7 multiplier. So it decreases your chances to get a link level up. This is mitigated by the amount of guaranteed fights, which increases your overall chances to secure the correct fight. Then there's 7, 10. I believe right now this is what most people are agreeing is pretty much the best auto stage for trying to get link levels, because you're able to get slightly more fights. And again, there's, no matter what, with both of these stages, 8, 9, and 7, 10, there's going to be fights you're going to miss, because both of them can spawn in. On 7, 10, it's Cybermen, just like randomly scattered across the map. And then on 8, 9, it's Frieza soldiers, sort of like scattered randomly across the map, right? Like, I think the perfect stage to link level would be one that would maybe have like 6 or 7 stop sign fights, because it doesn't seem like there's ones that like that's like a high number, but then it's not like spawning in little random fights around. I think that would be like the ideal auto stage, but again, both of these have like little fights that are popping up. So 710 has the same multiplier, but there's more additional fights overall. There's more stop sign fights in 710, right? Then 15-2 is further along in the story. More expensive stamina costs to boot. So this link level rate is at 0.8, which is higher than 8, 9, and 710. Okay, so let's break this down, what it means for auto link leveling. Eyeball averages, a fair amount of clinical trials. Yeah, again, it's just doing it a lot, right? Okay, so I guess these are the chances to get links right here. Okay. chance of success for link level 9 to link level 10. So you have 1.05 for 8-9, 1. Wow, that does seem to be quite a bit higher for 7-10. Okay. And then 1.38 for 15-2. Best to level units on 7-10 with auto, right? I definitely have found that 7-10 is a great auto stage, 100%. Higher amount of fights just overall guarantees a better chance of hitting the specific fight to level up your link, yeah. There is one stop. So every time I've done 7-10, it has worked out very well, but for some reason, they always appear to ignore the last stop sign fight, the last Nimbus. I'm not really too sure exactly, how the game is deciding to go down some of these paths, right? But with auto, you'll always pick the biggest dice roll. But when it comes to diverging paths where you can go like left or right, I don't know that there's any logic to it. It does seem to be random. Sometimes it'll hit it, sometimes it won't. That's why 15-2 is not the best for auto, is because while there is a lot of stop sign fights, it's not guaranteed you're going to hit those stop sign fights. Sometimes the auto will take you down the Nimbuses, and other times it will not, right? Okay. This data doesn't include the bias on random Cybermen spawning. 8-9 is potentially better for the guaranteed chance due to the low number of non-stop side fights you encounter. Yeah, I mean, okay, from what my experience, I mean, most of the time, Frieza soldiers don't really pop up like that. Like, it's rare that, like, more than, like, I don't know, maybe, like, 5 Frieza soldiers will spawn in, right? Like, a huge amount all over the map is pretty uncommon to me. And I feel like a lot of times, because there are several, like, left and right paths, but the low spawn rate of the Frieza soldier units that will come in, it means that, like, the auto going left or right a lot of times doesn't really hurt you as much. But I don't know if 7-10, if I've noticed, like, way more Cybermen spawning on that stage. I don't know. Just from my eyeballing, it seems to be a similar amount of, like, again, we're talking about the non-stop sign fights, right? So the 8-9 stop sign fights are the Ginyu Force, and the 7-10 stop sign fights are just Cybermen. Same with 15-2. They're just Cybermen. Given normal play, that's given a wide number on 7-10 will prove the more consistent contender. Yep, I don't disagree with that based on my own, like, attempts doing a lot of these stages and stuff like that. Lately, I have been sort of, like, hopping back and forth between 7-10 and 8-9. But I was thinking about just trying 7-10 for, like, a couple days in a row and not, like, breaking off of it and seeing how it works, right? Non-automatic runs 15-2 is perhaps one of the best boost-centric stages in the entire game. That's what I've found. Again, I've been using my boosts on 15-2. Because another thing that's very important with these stop sign fights, right, is you can use those to clear the big dice rolls, like 6s, 5s, and 4s, and you can more so set yourself up to hit the random fights in between the stop signs, right? Like, like, okay, I see that after this next stop sign, just one of the random Cybermen fights is 4 spaces away. So you could sort of set yourself up to have a 4 on the dice roll. But 23-8 has no stop signs besides the final fight, Turles. So you're not able to sort of clear your dice and set yourself up to hit all these fights. That's why 15-2 is so good. And I've noticed 15-2 does appear to me to have a much higher, like, spawn rate of the random fights, the random Cybermen or Frieza soldiers compared to 7-10 and 8-9. 15-2 seem, again, just eyeballing, seems to have more of the random fights all over the place. And then this has more rank EXP, yeah, because 15-2 is higher in the story. It could be useful. The only thing, again, is that none of these stages, 15-2, 8-9, 7-10, none of them have incredible gems. That's the only sort of negative about them. Absolute most ideal stage for link leveling would be a stage with the highest number of non-skippable fights with very few or no random. Yeah, yep, 100% agree. Absolutely. Because then, it's just a matter of getting lucky that the link level will spawn when the stage loads in, and then you will guaranteed hit it because it's only, like, stop sign fights without random ones around. Yep, I agree. Okay, so definitely a really good post here from Vinny. And then there's one, a lot of people were talking about stage 12-8. So people run 12-8, but they run it on hard. Because the way it works is, I believe that's one of the... Here, let me pull this up on the wiki real fast. I believe 12-8 is one of the stages where you can farm one of those medals. So there was those medals to awaken the Android 13. What was it? It was like a Goku, Dr. Gero, Android 19, and then it was 14 and 15 medals. Where's 12? 12 is right here. Because I believe this 12-8 on Z hard, this is one of the stages that this gets you the Goku medals. So it's what happens is you go down a different path on Z hard, right? Compared to just hard, where you're getting all these stop signs against all these Ginyu Force and Team Bardock members. But that's the problem, is you're doing hard, which I guess has a lower link level multiply rate, or whatever the hell you want to say, however you want to say it. Playing on hard almost halves your potential modifier, 0.55 instead of a 7 or 8. Okay, Vinny is saying it's better than 8 and 9, but significantly worse than 7-10, and still slightly worse than 15-2. Difficulty affects your potential modifier regardless of stage. Playing on hard instead of Z hard is bad, yeah. So, again, it looks like by everyone's findings, a lot of the community's been doing stuff. You know, we've even got, like, the APT kids, like, going hard, running all these probabilities and stuff like that. Does seem like the definitive answer here is you want to do 7-10 for auto, and then 15-2 for manual. So go ahead and retire a shitty-ass 23-8, where there's just Cybermen shotgunned across the entire fucking map, man. That's why, like, you know, running 23-8, you'll have these characters that are one link away for, you know, sometimes it could take like a week just to get the last link. That's why me and Goresh were always laughing, joking, like, oh, you're all level 10, you have 6 level 10 links and 1 level 9 link. Well, you're 50% of the way done link leveling. You know, that's why we joke about that, because it takes so long. But running these stages with the stop signs has not been the same thing. Right now, I'm finishing anywhere from 1 to like 4 units per day, full link level 10. Like, auto has definitely allowed me to speed it up a lot, but I think sort of realizing that running these stop sign fight stages is just a much better way to go about link leveling than sort of the pure like randomness and RNG of 23-8. Alright, so yep, there we go. Definitely shout out to Vinny, Harry Turney, and Kairu. Remember that Harry Turney is the guy who created Dokkan Info site, which again, very, very good. Shout out to everyone. Again, don't be bringing up the goddamn 23-8. I hate that stage. It's so bad. 7-10, 8-9, 15-2. Those are the type of stages you want to run, not damn 23-8. So let me know what you guys think. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you guys next time.